Come on in. Hi. Come on in. Hi. Okay. Hi, Carbon Q. Hi, Mike. Come on in. I won't be before you long. Hi, sifting some soil. Thank you, daughter. Hi, Hoti Robinson. Thank you, Carbon. Hi, Soft Sister. Nightbot, one bad guy, zero, stop spamming caps warning. Oh, oh, Nightbot is at it. Looks like we're live jumping tonight. Every night. I know Sunday is a very busy night, so I am going to change Sundays because it's back to back people on Sunday. Now, I may do one more Sunday, and that's on my birthday, and that's next month. So I will do a live on my birthday. But after that, I'm going to have to pick another day of the week because, yes, this is a jumping day. Hey, microfarmer. Okay, so what I'm going to talk about tonight, I chose this subject because I have had to talk to a few women over the past couple years. And don't run away, men. Don't run away because you may be able to help someone yourself. And men do get menopause as well. So I want to talk about perimenopause. And as you know, perimenopause is the phase before menopause. And a lot of you all may not realize that some issues that you are going through anywhere from your late 30s, you can start at your late 30s, but generally around 40. So if you are starting to have some of these issues and you don't even realize that's why you're having these issues, because it can definitely make you think you're going crazy. Because one thing about it is things will be going on with your body that you know you don't feel yourself. And you go to the doctor and they do tests for this, blood work for this, EKGs. They do all these things and then they tell you there's nothing wrong. We don't see anything. And that's because if you are not at menopause age, they will not test you. So they do every test in the world and tell you we don't see anything, but in your mind, you know, no, something has to be wrong because I feel like I'm going crazy. So I'm just going to break down some of these things that you may be feeling in this age group. And 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 I have heard people that, and I've known people who told me their relatives actually went through it in like 20s, which is sad, but it can happen. Everybody's body is different. You never know when it's going to happen. It's not that often that it happens that way, but still, I want to tell you some of the things that there are some general things that people just naturally know this is part of, menopause. And then there are some things you may not have known. So that's why I decided to just talk about this tonight, because even if you're not in this age group, you may have a bestie, you may have a sibling, a friend, anyone that's going through this. And if you hear what these symptoms are, you may can help them and say, hey, I think I know what you're going through, and you could tell them maybe they should be tested for this. So before I get started, hey, Crafty Leo. Is that the only new person? I think it is. So, hey, Juicing with Jay. Oh, he was timed out by Nightbot. I'm going to have to fix that. I know a lot of people have this issue. It says, looks like the last year's model. Stop spamming. What does that mean? Whoo, Lord, Nightbot is just as bad as a bot. I'm just saying. Okay, so hey, Arita Bay Gardens. Okay, so I am going to start. This is going to be hey, G-Hud, how are you? You almost missed out on the nuggets? Yes. Happy life, hello. Okay, so we're going to start. Okay, so perimenopause can start anywhere to 4 years before the actual menopause. And there's a blood work that they could take for it, which is called the FSH. This test is not going to be drawn on you when you go to the doctor complaining about, I have all these issues, I don't feel like myself. But so you actually have to request this. This happened to me. So I guess I'll just start off with my story and then I'll go into these. Okay, so what happened with me, and it generally follows your family history. I'm not saying that's all the time, but it generally follows. So if grandma started at 39, then the next, female generation will start, and then that daughter, and then that daughter. So it pretty much sticks to, it did in my family, and that's the way they say it does, but I'm sure it doesn't for everyone. I don't know that, but it actually did for mine. So generally, if there's a certain age that one started going through it, then the others will follow. So what happened with me is I knew I was not feeling right. I kept complaining. I kept saying I don't feel, and sometimes I just couldn't put my finger on it. When how are you feeling? I just don't feel right. And they was like, well, what do you mean? Well, I really can't explain it, but I'm just not feeling myself. I just don't feel good. And I was just laying around all the time because I didn't feel well. And so one of the symptoms was headaches. I had headaches so bad. And because I have allergies and sinus, and I had migraines like in the past, so I really didn't know what headache it was, which is horrible because one day I got up, morning, I got up in the wee hours of the morning trying to find a 24-hour Walgreens. And because I did not know which headache it was, I had to buy migraine medicine, which was Excedrin migraine. I bought sinus allergy medicine. I bought PMS medicine. I just bought all of these because I did not know which headache it was. So I ended up taking all of them before I got to the one I needed. Hello, TLC in the garden. Don't hurt the harvest. New Orleans Garden. Thank you all for coming. Cheryl Faulkner. I appreciate you all coming in. So I taken one pill. Headache did not go away. So I had to wait 4 hours before I could take another pill. So I taken the sinus medicine. Did absolutely nothing. Still had the headache. Then I taken the which was Primacin. It's that pink and white bottle PMS Primacin. And it got rid of the headache. So then I knew it was a hormone headache. And so it just kept getting worse, and I lived by myself, so I was just laying around on the sofa, and then I kept feeling my heart, just beating. So these are just signs that you all have to look for. My heart was just beating, and I just kept saying, you think you're having a heart attack. And that's what I kept saying. Oh my God, I think I'm having a heart attack. And so one night I was asleep, and I woke up. And I felt my chest boom, boom, boom. So I get up and I ran into the bathroom. And when I looked down, my my gown was literally doing like this. That scared the crap out of me. So I went to the emergency room. They did the EKG, of course. And anytime you go to the emergency room complaining about heart, you're gonna be one of the first ones that they rush to the back. If it's a trauma, you're not going to override a trauma, but I'm saying anybody else that's in the ER, if they just there for other things, if you complain about heart, they will rush you back. So they started trying to do my vitals before they even sent me back. They had me to sit down. They started doing vitals. So eventually they did the EKG. They did blood work. I can't remember what all they did, but I'm just laying on this table, just not feeling good at all, not understanding why my chest is thumping like this. And so when the doctor comes back in there and he grabs a chair and he rolls over to me, and I'm like, uh-oh. And then he looks at me and he says, your EKG is normal. Your blood work is normal. And whatever else test, I can't remember the other. He said, and that's normal. He said, I wish I was as healthy as you are. He said, all your test results are remarkable. He said, and we can't find anything. He said, so since we can't find anything, we're gonna just let you spend the night here. We're just gonna get you some blankets and a pillow, and you just hang out here, and that way we could just, if anything goes wrong, you already be here. So I did that. I slept on that thing all night long, and I didn't have any more problems. So next morning, I went home. But it just continued, and so I called my doctor. I said, something is not right with my body. And she kept on saying, well, what do you mean by that? And I said, well, first of all, it's this heart palpitations. She said, heart palpitations, you need to get in here. Okay, I go in there. She do all her examinations. She can't find anything. I said, I think it's perimenopause. She said, absolutely not. Hi, Angela Garten. It's your Renaissance grandma. Anyone else? Okay. And so I told her, I said, I think it's perimenopause. And she said, no, you're way too young for that. I'm like, but I don't feel well. She said, but it's not that. I was like, okay. So I'm going to be slick, right? I'm going to go to another one of my other doctors. And I'm like, I think I'm going through perimenopause. And he just bust out laughing. He said, come back in 15 more years. I'm like, no, serious. He like, no, serious. So he wouldn't do anything. And I'm like, so I'm miserable. because I just don't feel good. And this heart boom, boom, boom is just scaring the crap out of me. And so so when I told my doctor that, she said, well, I'll take the test anyway, but that's not it. Because, she was one of them that I always tell her what tests I want drawn, whether she wanted to do it or not. I'm like, well, I just feel comfortable if you do it. So she did it. And she said, I will call as soon as results come back if there's something, I need to discuss with you. And so I never heard from her. So I'm thinking, okay, I guess they came back normal. So next, what's next? What is this? Because I pretty much thought that's it. Had made up in my mind that was it. And so I end up getting like an upper respiratory disease, bronchitis. I don't know what I had. So I end up I was so sick, my mom actually had to take me to the doctor. And so I go in and, she's trying to work me up for whatever. You have to take everything when you have upper respiratory. So they have to do the whole panel of strep and flu and all of that. And I looked at her, I said, I know you told me that this is not perimenopause. I said, but it has to be because I don't feel well. So she goes and grabs her chart, my chart, and she opens it up, and then I see her eyes go. She said, I am so sorry. She said, yes, you are. She said, but in my defense, she said, she turned around, showed it to me. She said, do you see my initials are not on here anywhere? She said, they are not supposed to put anything in my chart unless I initial it. She said, as you can see, my initials are not on here. So she said they probably put it in the wrong chart. And when they realized that you were my patient, they probably just taken it out and stuck it in here and didn't tell me. She said, but yes, you are. And I'm going to tell you what the numbers should have been. Okay, so from the ages of 33 to 37, your FSH was a follicle stimulation hormone. Your levels should be less than 7.9. 38 to 40, your number should be less than 8.4. 41 and over, your number should be less than 8.5. My number was 25. Okay? So I knew I wasn't crazy, even though it makes you feel like you was crazy. I knew that something was going on with my body. And see, that's the one thing about it. Tests does not show everything. And especially if they're not doing the right test. So I just wanted to encourage you all. If you feel like, if you feel like something is going on, I'm going to read all of the symptoms, and I had a lot of these. And if you feel like you're having some of these and you go and complain to your doctor and she wants to run all of these tests, just make sure you ask her to run that one as well. Because if you're not at the age, they're not going to just run it. And they generally run that one and a thyroid test together because both of the symptoms mimic one another. So they usually don't do one without the other. And so they was testing me for the thyroid because I wasn't at menopause age. But I could tell what was going on with my body, that had to be what it was, but they just wasn't buying it. And so that's what it was. So I was miserable. Okay, so I'm going to start off with some of the general things that you all just, know about, whether you've seen family members go through it or whatever. Just give me a minute. Let me speak to some more people. Hello, Tori's Brain Game, Tay Eats. Welcome, Urban Garden Chronicles. Oh Lord, Nightbot is just clowning. Let me scroll down, see if I missed anyone else. Okay, if I did, I apologize. Okay, so I think I got everyone. Yeah, sure, Faulkner. Yeah, I think I spoke to you. Okay, so these are the symptoms that Happy Mac, hello, thank you for joining me. And so these are the symptoms that we basically know. You know, friend had it, mom had it, and someone had it. So it's the hot flashes, night sweats. You have breast tenderness. You have worse, you know, premenstrual syndrome. You have a lower sex drive, fatigue, irregular periods, vaginal dryness, urine leakage when coughing or sneezing, and mood swings, trouble sleeping. And the ones that's concerning to them are the ones that when your period starts to bounce, some people know that it's coming every 28 days, or if it's not 28 days, they know when it's coming. Then it starts coming a week earlier than that. Then it starts coming a week earlier than that. That's when they want to know about it. That's a concern. That's considered a concern to them. Okay, now, so here are all the other things that a lot of people really don't talk about. So I just want you to know that when you or a friend, like I said, you can help anyone that you hear complaining about, girl, this is happening to me and this is happening to me. And you could just say, well, maybe you need to see if your doctor would give you a menopause test, a perimenopause test, because you need to know and just not be suffering and not feeling like you're crazy, because your body is going through something. And all these tests, they just running up your bill with all these tests that they're taking, but they're not taking the right test. And you're still feeling bad, okay? So, okay, starts off again with hot flashes, night sweats, irregular period, mood swings, breast soreness, decreased libido, and this is also and it's also for men, less sex drive. And so I know with some men, they don't want, because they're macho, and they don't want to let the woman know that they're having trouble in that area. So they would probably pick a fight not to have to have, a good time, because they don't want to tell them, I'm having trouble. So if you're in that age group, and I'm going to tell you what your age group is. Okay, your age group is 45 to 50. So your symptoms is fatigue, weakness, depression, and low interest in sex. So if you're having these issues, don't just ignore them. That's what it is. If you're usually popping, and now you can't pop anymore, and if you're in that age group, then see your doctor. I know a lot of men don't even like to talk to doctors about that kind of thing. And so you just hide it. Excuse me. And then it causes problem in the home, because you don't want to say that that's the problem, and you don't want the lady to know that's the problem, because that's beneath you to not be able to perform. But it's normal. There's treatments. Now, the one part I'm not going to go over are the treatments, because I don't believe in medicine like that. Okay, I'm a herbal girl. So you'll have to do this research on your own and try to find out what you can take if you don't want to take the prescribed medicines, because they are not something that I would take. So do your research and find out, okay? Vaginal dryness, headaches. Like I said, the headache is no joke. And like I said, if you cannot get rid of your headaches with the regular ibuprofen or whatever you generally take, then you can try a PMS. You know, if you think and you may even be at this age and know that's what your issue is and maybe having these headaches. And I know the Primasin did it for me. It got rid of the headaches for me, but it was trial and error trying to figure out that's what it was, because like I said, I didn't realize that that's what I was going through at first. But as it continued to go on, I'm like, okay, but then the doctors kept telling me absolutely not. And both of them were wrong. Okay, now this tingling of the extremities. It's a tingling. It's, matter of fact, it's about 3 things that can happen to your skin that might drive you crazy and you don't understand what's going on. And the reason I want you all to know this so you don't think the worst, because you know, when we have things going on with our body and it's never happened before and you never heard anyone else talk about it, then you tend to get concerned. And so you can have a tingling of the extremities. Okay, and another thing you can have, it's called formication. And the definition of formication means creeping like ants. Now, some of you all might even have this and not even realize it, but it's this thing right here. You can be sitting up watching TV or whatever, and you can feel something on your leg, and you reach down and swat at it, and you're still into the television, and you feel it again, and you reach down and swat, you know, brushing it off. And then you feel it again, and you like, okay, so you looking now, because I've hit this twice. And if something was there, it should be gone by now, because I should have knocked it off. But you still feel this. It just feels like up under your skin. It could be on your arms. It could be in your face. It could be anywhere, but you just feel like it's just like a little bug is just up under your skin. That is a sign of perimenopause. Okay? Hi, Planter Garden. Ruthie's this and that and family. Hello, welcome. If you all missed it, I hope you do the replay. Okay. Burning mouth, changes in taste, fatigue, a lot. And you know they always talk about the women having issues around the gut. If you've never had an issue with bloating, then that can also be a sign, because when we start becoming real women, yeah. And you know what gets to me is back in the day when we were growing up, and people made us think menopause was the best thing since sliced bread. Oh, you don't have to worry about getting pregnant anymore. You don't have to worry. I mean, they hyped us up thinking that was the life, but baby, they lied, okay? And you will find out, if you have not already gone through it, you will find out it is not fun. And everybody is not going to go through this, granted, but some of us will. Okay, you will start having digestive issues, you know, the same as bloating, but digestive issues, you know, foods that you used to eat, you can't even eat anymore because they just don't agree with you. Okay, and so joint pain. You'll start having joint pain out of nowhere. That's because your estrogen is starting to decrease. You will also have muscle tensions. That is also caused because of estrogen decrease. Okay, and electric shock. You know, you'll be feeling the sensation. Like I said, that was the 3 things I told you that you will have with the skin. So it's the crawly, it's the electrical shock you feel like, and the tingling. So all of these things can be going on with your skin and you have no idea. So these are just signs to look for. Itchiness. You can start itching. You can go to the dermatologist. You can go everywhere. They can take every test, and they have no idea why you itching. They're going to ask the general questions. Are you using a new cologne? Did you change your soaps? Did you change your liquid detergent, your laundry detergent? Because no one thinks to check for perimenopause. So that's why I wanted to let you all know, because I have had to tell people, several women, more than several, over the past couple of years when they just started telling me what was going on with them. And I'm like, did you have your doctor test you for this? No, they never test for that. I'm like, they like, write it down. So, I tell them what test to be tested for, because they won't test you if they don't believe that you're at the age for it. So, okay, and you start getting the sleep disturbances, that happens a lot. Difficulty concentrating. Now, you will get brain fog. Not everybody, but it comes with the territory. Memory lapse. Thinning hair. A lot of people already know that you start getting thinning hair with perimenopause through to menopause. And they do not call it menopause. So you're going to be peri all the way up until you go 12 consecutive months with no menses. You can make it up to 10 and a half. And you be like, 2 more months. And no. If it comes to 10 and a half months, you have to start all over again for another 12 months. It has to be 12 months consecutive before you are considered menopause. Okay? So there's perimenopause, there's menopause, and there's postmenopause. Okay, I thought that just came with old age, 55, with old age 55 now. No, peri comes before 55. You're ready for like menopause at 55. But perimenopause comes before that. Microformer. The only problem I had, I cried for everything, and I was not me at all. Yes, and that's another thing. The crying, I didn't have that one. But I have heard people say that they said they just be sitting up there and all of a sudden just bust out crying. And they said, then you'd be like, what's wrong? And they're like, there's nothing wrong. And they have no idea why they're crying. So it is so many things that you should watch for so you can know what's going on. Because, like I said, no one is going to test you for this if you are not at that ripe old age that they think you should be. And see, that's one thing that I can appreciate. The fact that I worked at a pediatric hospital. Because one thing that they teach them, I don't care how many conferences you've been to, I don't care how many years of school you've been to become a doctor. They said, listen to the parents. Because the parents can come in and say, my child been doing this, this, and this. And you may be like, that's ridiculous. That child can't be doing that. Well, see, the institution that I came from, no, you were not allowed to say that. If the parent said this is what this child is going through, then you investigate that, because this parent is with this child 24/7. I don't care how many degrees you got, and if it don't fall in the category of what you learned in those books, you cannot tell these people that this is not going on with their child. But in the adult life, see, they can try to do that to us. Okay, well, nope, you're not at that age, so no, that can't be it. So I was turned away twice, telling me that was not my problem when I knew it had to be the problem. At first, it was just, I didn't know what was going on. I just knew I was not the same, and I was not feeling well, and every test came back, and I started saying, well, this is what it has to be, and they said no, and they meant that, and I was like, it has to be, and I had to keep pushing it until I got my results and found out that is why my body was going through what it was going through. So, okay, you become stressed and dizzy spells. I may have had those as well. I think I did because I think that's why I really did want to go to the emergency room that night but then the dizzy spells could have been because when you panic, when that heart is when you see your gown doing like this, and then that just sends shock waves through your whole body. You start getting sick in the stomach. Oh. So that may have been where my dizzy spells was coming from, but just so you know, that can be another symptom. And then you like allergies. Like I said, you start getting allergic to foods you've been eating all your life, to just different things, detergents, just all kind of things. Just out of nowhere, you can't even use these things anymore. And you like, but it can't be this. I've been using this forever, but it can be. Because when your body changes and those hormones change and estrogen and hormones, they are mess. They really rule our body. They rule it when it's in us, and then as it starts to creep up out of us, it still can do some things to us. Okay, your lower estrogen can also cause osteoporosis, irregular heartbeat. Okay, some females may experience irregular heartbeat and arrhythmias. See, like say they had done an EKG, and I had arrhythmias. They might try to have put that on my heart because they never test for menopause. So you have to be you have to be there for yourself. You have to go in there with the right mind and not just let them tell. I have always been that way. I had a doctor, one that told me that 15, maybe in 15 years we could discuss it. I know he told me one time, he said, I don't know what field of work you do. He said, but if you're not a doctor, you have missed your calling. Because I would go in there, I would tell him what was wrong with me, I would tell him what prescription I needed, and he'd be like, okay. And he would come back in, he said, that's exactly what you have. And that's exactly what I'm going to write. Now, the other doctor, on the other hand, she would say, well, why do you think you need that? And it was a fight, but she would do it because I think in the back of her mind, what if she's right? And what if something goes wrong? And because she asked for this test and I didn't do it, so when I would ask for it, she would give me some static, but she would still do the test. So you have to be your own advocate, okay? Okay, and if your deodorant tends to seem like it's not working as well as it used to, that's because those hot flashes, that estrogen, those hormones, yeah, you may need a little extra help with that deodorant. You're irritable, very irritable all the time. Comes and goes, it just fluctuates, Sometimes you're in a good mood and sometimes you may not. These are things we cannot change, okay? Depression, anxiety, and panic disorder. And in case you men thought I was joking, there is male menopause, okay? You can have it as well. So when you be feeling in your feelings and want to stay down in your little man cave and don't understand why you feeling the way, and then the woman like, well, what's wrong? What did I do? It's you. You're in denial. Get yourself checked. It's always best to know why you're acting the way you're acting. Don't just ignore it and, just be bitter. When you know that this is not your norm, you just usually a nice, bubbly person, but all of a sudden your attitude is changing and you're at that ripe old age. And like I say, the men's age is 45 to 50. So, and it dramatically increases up to 70. So, and then the blood work that you would ask for is the testosterone test. Testosterone, okay? So this is something that I thought was important for everybody to know, whether it's for you in the future or for someone you know, and they have complained about some of these issues, and you could tell them, hey girl, I think you got such and such. So I hope that was helpful. I'll check the comments. I apologize for Nightbot. I'll try to have that fixed. You know, I don't know what I'm doing. Somebody else gonna have to fix it. Can't wait to post because spontaneous combustion in the middle of the night is not fun. Oh, it's definitely not fun. And see, let me tell you what happened with me. I had people that laughed at me, that joked. I got one sitting over there. I had that fan at work that you could put water in. I had ice water in this fan. And I would be walking around spraying this thing. And see, one thing about a flash, they gave it the right name. It comes in a flash and it leaves in a flash. So you could just start pulling off everything, which I did. I used to wear my jacket, my lab jacket, around my waist. And someone told me one day, she said, that really irritates me when you do that. Why don't you just either put it on or take it off? I said, because I know in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to need to put it back on. So it'll be already here, okay? So in case you didn't know, once you have that serious hot flash and you fan it, you're going to have to stop fanning because eventually that fan is going to feel cold and then you're going to be like, ooh, and then you're putting it back on. So when you in bed at night and covers on, covers off, covers on, covers off all night long, you know you're near, okay? I mean, some medical conditions can cause that, but if you do not have a medical issue and you know that, and you know you're near that age, then you know you're getting near. But yes, those flashes, and then they kind of make you angry. Okay? I remember, because I was at work and I was like a nurse assistant. I had to help. And so when it hit me, and mine started at the ears, I would feel my ears on fire. And the fire would just come to the front, to my face, and then it would just take over my whole body, but it would start there. And when I felt it coming, and somebody would come up to me, Vanessa, I'm like, wait a minute, I said, no. I said, I will come find you, but right now, please, just give me a minute. Because first of all, I always said, and this is something, let me see it. Maybe make sure I say this the right way. I always said I cannot handle stupid questions. This is about as clean as I can put it. I cannot stand stupid. And I hate to say a question is stupid because I always encourage somebody. If you don't know something, ask. But some people can just act something and so when you feeling like that and you know certain nurses and when they come up and it's getting ready to be one of them, it's like, no. And I thought I would get complained on, but I was not rude. I was just like, not right now, please. Please, just let me have this moment. I will come find you and see what you needed. And it wouldn't take long because like I said, the flash comes and then it's gone. And so I would get up, put my sweater back on because it's going off. And I would go find her. I was like, and I'm totally changed. I'm like, okay, so what did you need? But it is I don't know who thought that was a good thing to go through, but it is horrible, okay? And I know some people who did not get any of it, none of it. God bless them because It is horrible. So I hope that helped. Let me see. I remember those days. Yes, Cheryl. Absolutely. I feel that way when I get angry. The struggle is real. I thought I was sleeping with her while I was asleep. Oh, baby, I was good for the blank cover on, cover off. Then that one leg, you throw that one leg out the bed, out from under the cover first. And then that's not good enough. And then you have to throw the whole thing. Oh, it's horrible. I am telling you. It is horrible. And I was through with that. I was completely in a happy place again. I was so happy. But then when I got hit with this stupid autoimmune crap, it apparently brought it back. So now I'm living the HE double hockey sticks again. Okay? But God, though, because, okay, here they are. Okay, let me see. So do anyone have any questions? Wait for a post because spontaneous combustion in the middle of the night. Okay, I just read that one. Oops. Uh, you know, well, Black Cohosh did not, I keep hitting the wrong thing, did not help me at all. They may have made it better now. Now, what did help me, which they stopped selling it, which, ooh, that irritated me. They carry something, which you might even find it online. I never even see it. I wasn't into Amazon and that kind of stuff back then. But they had something called Yam cream, Y-A-M. And you put it in your creases. So I put it in here. I put it behind the knee, and I would put it here. That worked fabulous. And so they snatched it off the market. And so then, you have to be concerned when they snatch stuff off the market because did you find out it was causing cancer or was something wrong with it? So you just have to really do your research when you start going through these things to try to help yourself because the medicines are worse than anything that you could try. I wouldn't want to go that route. I did the natural route. I dealt with it. Right now. It's really not that bad, but it can be real ugly, and you just have to have patience. Walk away. Don't try to treat the whole family. When that, like I said, that anger could come out of nowhere. When that heat hits you, because all you feel is fire. But just take some breaths, count to 10. Don't mistreat everybody in the house because you in a bad mood. It does not, well, for me, it did not last long. It come and go. But I know some people, it may be different. They may be angry longer. But, just try to cope with it. Like I said, men could go through the same thing. They just not telling you. They might not even know that that's why they're acting the way they're acting, and maybe that's why they can't perform, and they just might think it's a fluke. But that is male menopause. So they go through similar things that we go through. And so we just have to work with each other since we all growing older together. I'll give you your space when you're having your moment and you give me mine, okay? But let's not try to ruin a whole household because we're having issues, okay? Thank you for the transparency. I wish my mom and grandma were alive to discuss it. Yeah, you are welcome. I'm glad my wife is not going through that underground. What's up, everyone? Superman's Underground Garden. Hello. I haven't seen you before. Welcome. Okay, so let me do the next thing I was going to do so I can let you all go because I know it's late. And I generally don't come on this late. But it's hard. Like I said, it's hard to squeeze in on a Sunday. So I will change my date. But like I said, on my birthday, I will do a Sunday because my birthday is on Sunday. Okay? So, my was it my last live or the live before that? I told you, no, it was the live before the last one. I told you all that I was working on something that, thank you, Cheryl. I'm glad it helped. And you all just pass the word and watch out for family members or friends who may be going through this. Some couple feel like they must share a cup. Well, generally, that's the way it goes, Mike. But I told you I was working on something and it was marinating. Well, it's through marinating. Matter of fact, I actually tried it and I'm going to try it for a few weeks because I have to make sure that it's okay before I let someone else try it. But it is a hair growth trial. Before you start emailing me, because I want 6 people to trial this, but you have to meet the requirements, okay? It's going to be like a 3-month trial, okay? So you can't have chemicals in your hair. And the reason for that is because you have to wash your hair twice a week. 2 times twice a week. What I mean by 2 times is you wash your hair, rinse it out. Wash your hair again, and you're going to leave it in. I made the bars small so it could be easy to grip when you're washing your hair. And I'm going to send you a little plastic cap so you can, that second wash. Okay, so if you work, you just do it after work, so you can sit with it 20 minutes on your head or just wait for your off days. But 2 times a week, 2 times. Wash your hair, rinse it out, put it in your hair again, put your cap on, let it sit on for like 20 minutes, rinse it out, and do your usual conditioner, styling, you know. So, that's one thing. So it's pretty much for natural hair, okay? And it could be any race. Because I did learn, I already have a hair product out that grows hair, which is called Crown Glory. But the reason I am doing this is because Crown Glory is about 7 or 8 years old, and I have learned about new herbs. And like I was telling you all in my last live, just because I learned that the apothecary or whatever tells me that this herb is going to do this, I told you, remember last time I kept calling myself a scientist? I like to find out, do these things work for real? So since I know I've learned about different trees, I've learned about different herbs, and so I am making a different hair growth formula. And I want to see if it works. So that's why I need some volunteers. Okay, and the Caucasian people, their hair grew faster than anyone and longer. And if you want to see them, they are on Lady V Collections Facebook. So those are the people that was in my last trial. And you can see them. One of them you really can't see as well, and I wish you really could, because she was a Caucasian lady, and all of this was bald, and all of this back here was bald, and then she just had like a little hair, or she would spray that powdered stuff in it. So if you came up on her this way, the sun would hit you, and if you came up behind her, the sun would hit you, okay? So I asked her, did she want to be in the trial? And she was like, yeah. And so once I gave it to her, one of our schedules changed, and so we didn't see each other for a while. And I'm just curious. I'm like, I wonder how's it going. Is it working? Because that was my first time ever making a hair growth bar. So I was really concerned about. Night, I got another one. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. And so, I know you're not about to braid my hair that many times a week. Oh Lord. And so, I lost my train of thought. Okay. Oh, I was talking about the lady that I didn't see her for a while because our schedules didn't match up anymore. So I was really concerned about what was going on. I was anxious. I'm like, I wanted this growing. I wasn't gonna call her at home. Don't call me on my off day. I wasn't gonna call her. And so when I came to work, I came through the back door. And as I'm walking up on her and I'm looking, because my eyes not too well. You probably always tell I'm always looking up and down. I don't have the best eyes. And so I'm looking from a distance and I'm like, and I'm not seeing the the bright light, the glow that's usually shine up at me. And I was like, I went and looked her in the front of her face. I was like, your hair grew like that? And she was like, I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. And so you see her on my Facebook, but you can't see the gist of it on the picture. As it grew, you could see how full it was in the front of the back, but you couldn't like really see the ball on the picture, not like we could see, there at work with her. So her hair grew really well, and so then one of the managers, he wanted to try it, but I know what the thing was. This person been working here for how many years? We all been working here for a long time. They don't know this side of me. All I know is she's a darn good, she darn good with patience. But as far as doing something like that, I don't know if I could trust her like that. I know that's what it was. Because he wanted it so, and everybody would be laughing so much because every time he passed by, he would make a comment about the product. Yeah, I really would. I probably, I really would like to try that, but I'm scared. Mm-mm. And I'm like, what are you afraid of? And he was like, mm-mm. But every time he passed by, he would say something about it. I think I might have to try it. I said, just let me know when you're ready. And so he is the guy, the Caucasian guy that you see on my Facebook page. And you will see he had that the men get in the top that was bald, and now he has hair in it. That's him. So he was very happy with that. Now, the one thing he was not happy about the product is, which is what I'm going to tell you, it will turn your hair dark. So he was a pure blonde. And so he ended up a brown, a brown head, not a blonde. But he didn't stop using it because he's been using it for 3 or 4 years. Okay, so he didn't like the fact that it, changed his pure blonde, but he wanted that hair. So he had a choice, blonde or hair. Okay. Okay, so you have to be willing to wash your hair 2 times. Okay. Because I had everybody that is on that Facebook page hair grew. The only excuse me, the only 3 people here that did not grow is someone who had alopecia for like more than 40 years. And so her hair did not grow. But when you think about it, if I could have made some hair come back after 40 years, I could probably buy a whole lot of us some land. I'm just saying. And then the other 2 people who hair did not grow, when I see them in the hall, I would say, so how's it going? Because they wore wigs or whatever, and I couldn't see. So I was like, well, how's it going? Oh, it's going okay. I'm like, well, is it growing any? Well, not really. I'm like, how often are you using it? Well, I use it like twice a month. Twice a month? Twice. No, I know. You said, and I told them when they said, I don't think I could wash my hair that much. I was like, well, don't get it. Don't do it. Because if you're not going to do it right, it's not going to work. Okay. And another thing is just like taking your medication. When the doctor puts you on medication and you decide, I don't want to take this medication anymore, and then you get sick, it's because you stopped taking the medication. Well, it's the same way with this shampoo. If you stop, then your hair is going to resort back to the way it was. Okay? So I'm just trying to find out if these new products that I'm using actually works like the apothecary says. So that's why I want to do this, so I can see if this indeed will grow your hair. So you have to have thinning hair, shedding hair, breakage, and and if you have like some people hair is thin. Say you have hair right here, but you can still start to see a little ball in there. You can start to see your scalp. So if you are one of these and you have that, take a picture of it because you're going to do your own monitoring. Now, when I did those people on Facebook, as you see, I had pictures of all of them. So I actually took pictures, and then they would just let me know. They would send me another picture. This is 2 weeks. This is 4 weeks. So I'm not doing that with you all. You're going to monitor this yourself. I'm going to have to trust that you're going to give me the correct feedback because there's nothing to gain if it does not work. Just tell me what it does. So I would like for you to tell me if you was having breakage, when did it stop? At what week? If it actually closed in that bald spot, at what stage in the time that you were using this did this happen? I just need you all to give me that type of feedback. Okay, and like I'm trying it now because I want to make sure, because it's new. And one thing I need to say before I say this is it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. It has about 14 ingredients in it. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of these ingredients are in your kitchen. Yes, in your kitchen. So that just goes to show you how natural this is, okay? So, but I am trialing it to make sure it's not going to burn, it doesn't itch, it doesn't cause any irritation. I wanted to make sure it suds the way I want it to suds, and it does. I mean, it's real. You're going to have a head full of suds, okay? So I like that because I know that that's going to really clean, okay? So, yeah, I think that's about it. Just keep track of what's going on. Okay, let me make sure I told you everything. Oh, I didn't tell you this. It does have like a, yeah. Has a little smell from those kitchen ingredients. But it's not going to stay in your hair. You're going to smell it while you're washing your hair. And then I suggest you just put it in a Tupperware container so the whole house don't have to smell it. Keep your little, soap in the container until you have to use it. Once you rinse it out, the smell goes as well. Okay? And so my manager, I actually, because people used to buy it at work and they'd be like, oh my God, I got to take the Metro home. And so I started I said, well, maybe I could make it where it does not smell as bad. And then he complained. He was like, I like it with the smell. Give me the smell back because my hair really grow with that. So I'm not messing with it, okay? It has a little smell. It's going to stay there because apparently that's what's helping it work. Okay, so I think I told you everything. But you can go over to Lady V Collections on Facebook and you can look at the people hair and the time. That would blew me away. Because people that didn't like have had very thin edges, which is one of the girls you could see. Then it was like 2 weeks. It's one girl that had no hair, which you can see on one. And in 2 weeks, she just had hair sprouting. So I was really amazed because that was a first for me. So I'm interested in seeing how well this one is going to work. So that is it. So if you are interested in being one of my trials, I need 6 people to email me. I'm going to take the first 6. You have to follow this, okay? So the people that think they cannot wash, if you cannot wash your hair, that's why I say natural hair, because if you have relaxers and perms and you got your hair in maybe braids or whatever, or however it is, and you don't wash your hair 2 times a week, it would be a problem for you, then this is not the study for you. But if it is, and if you like to try, because if you don't, I will find some locals, if no one is interested in it, because I know I was just trying to give other people a chance, because I have the same people because I know they want it. They always jump on all my trials. But if someone wants to trial it, that's okay with me, but just make sure you can follow the instructions, because that works. I've learned that works, okay? So that is it. Okay, I'm going to check my messages for the last time. I suffer from discord lupus of the scalp. Would it be? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's nothing in here that would irritate you at all. Does it smell like, oh no, it don't smell that bad. It's not that strong. But it's not going to stay with you. It's not like you're going to be sitting up in the house chilling and your loved one going to be next to you going. No, it rinses. When it rinses out, the smell goes with it, okay? And then you're going to put your regular little condition in there or whatever, and then whatever other day the week that you choose, then you're going to try it again. But no, it is no way I would be walking around with my head smelling like that, okay? No, it rinses out. So just keep it in a Tupperware at home, okay? Okay, now this is not like somebody who was completely bald, men, and been bald for like the last 20, 25 years, okay? No, I don't think I can, I'm not that good, okay? Yeah, I wish I was. Even though a lot of men are kind of comfortable now with their baldness, but I know a lot of men who are not bald yet, and they're having to fit because they're starting to see it coming in. Now, they would be a good person to see if we could stop in the name. Yeah, so yeah. Email sent for wife. She's a good subject, okay? Okay, thanks, my Renaissance grandma, for the great information. I will watch the replays. You are so welcome. Any tree nut in it? No, sir. No nuts at all. Where's my paperwork? Oh, it's right here. Nope, no nuts in it. Nothing like it. Does have some trees in it though, but it's not a nut tree. So yeah, it is a part of a tree in it. I'm into the trees, the roots, the leaves. I don't throw anything away. Trust and believe. research to find out what part of this tree that I can use. And if it says it's all good, I'm using it. I don't care what I'm using it for, whether it's going to go in my hair, if it's going to go on my skin, or if I can eat it. That's what I'm going to do. Okay. I'm trying to check very carefully because I just hate checking later and finding out. Sheriff Faulkner, you could do it twice a week. And like I said, if you all work, hi, Diversity Love. I don't know if I spoke to you. Like I said, just do it either on your off days or after you get home when you're taking your evening shower. You can do it then and then sit in your little plastic bag for about 20 minutes. Okay, this light is blinding me. Let me turn that to the side. Maybe I can see better. Oh yeah, I can. Okay. Microformer, you a hot mess. Okay, I don't know how far back I can scroll, but if you said something that was important or you had a question, hi, the educated natural. So if you ask me something and it has scrolled, no, yeah, I don't have tree nuts. This thing keep going off on me. Pick a number 1 through 151. So we can get out of here before this thing completely kicks me out. Pick a number. If you all hear me, I don't even know if you all hear me. Oh yeah, you hear me. 1 through 151. Mike's Chaotic Garden, you are the winner. Where's my number? 77. Mike's Chaotic Garden. Yep, he's the only one. Yep, it's over, gang. 77. Okay, you want to see what you won, Mike? Okay. As I was preparing for, hi, Garden State Gardener. Yeah, woohoo. Okay, this is what you want. Okay, I know you've never had my spices before, but I was hoping somebody got this that really cared for my spices and enjoyed them, but it doesn't matter because you can learn to like my spices. It is an apron that says it's the spices for me. And it's me and the spices, okay? So, you got this and 2 bottles of salt-free spices, okay? This is your prize. So email me. Oh, you already emailed me, so you need to email me again with your address, okay? Everybody, congratulate. Oh, you all already have. Whoa. Okay, congratulations, Mike. And you will love them. Okay. How cool is that? Yeah, I'm getting ready for my fall festivals, and I ran across these from about 3-4 years ago, and I'm like, let me start giving these away. So yeah. Okay, hello, Mrs. Shirley O.G. Gardner. We're about on our way out the door. Crafty Leo says send it to her. Awesome. Okay, I'm glad you like it. All right, gang. Thank you all so much. much for spending time with me. God bless you. Love you. I'll pray for you. You pray for me, and we'll watch God change things. God bless.